how my plan to drop out of middle school, join the Foreign Legion, and become a Hollywood stuntman is totally working out. So, first of all, middle school life is super complicated, and so is this story. It must therefore be short and at least somewhat interesting. I was a B student in third grade, not that I was trying. Where in fourth grade, I get thrown under the bus to hide fraud and became a C and later D student. In case you don't know, the teachers are faking education. They are coercing you into memorization so that you pass the tests and they get paid. It is an easy con game for people who have no brains, because until you are way older, you won't know the difference between comprehension and memorization. I personally refused to memorize formulas and be a cog in anybody's shit show. And for that, I get treated like trash, but passed along nonetheless. When Poland got its first computers and informatics classes, informatyka, the teacher accused me of cheating. But I was really programming. I learned programming on my own. I knew the ZX Basic from Commodore 64. He just wanted basic input and R&D functions to simulate rolling and dice. But I added some extras, and thus upset this stupid little grades from other classes copying fraudulent elitist teacher who got to teach programming. And to the watchful eye and sick merriment of my bullies. My main bully later started a fight, and I tried to protect the little kid that was in the middle of it. But all the kids fighting there lied against me, that I started everything. The school psychologist showed up, took one look at me, and believed my side of the story. The first time I met a Valkyrie. But as others got into trouble, the class still turned against me. They already thought I was pretty dumb. Several teachers made fun of me in front of everyone because, I just would not memorize the garbage and instead would just learn programming on my own. And it was easy for them to just poke fun at the kid in the back. We spent many years together as a class, but they still had no idea who I was. It's their laws. So I came up with a plan. Become the youngest French Foreign Legion legionnaire that they've ever seen, and I would have to be a real cutthroat at something like 13 or 14 years of age, and then use the money to come to United States. Honestly, I think I would just end up making their web pages, which is also pretty badass. And then use the money to come to United States and become a stuntman in Hollywood. Yeah, I got that from the Fall Guy TV show, but it's an excellent plan. However, just as I was getting ready to drop out of middle school, my family moved to United States. And as I was learning English and getting over the fact that 10 cents is smaller than 5 cents, my butterfly knife skills started fading away, and I kind of mellowed out since I was already in US. And the first chance I got, I went skydiving. I always overreact how badly that went. I just have a natural skepticism towards instruments, especially little flimsy ones. I just wasn't going to pay too much attention to the altimeter and measure everything by eyesight. I was going to deploy the chute when I felt like it. I was going to be way up there still. Nothing to worry about. And I did purchase a discount cowboy hat, as a proper stuntman should, but getting a head to fit is a form of art I later learned, and the reins that my lovely cowboy hat saved me from made it a bit too tight to wear. I am just right now getting around to getting a new cowboy hat for the gym, as the light above really is kind of bright. Even though I am quite a bit older than 14, I am still working very hard towards becoming a stuntman in Hollywood. For one, I am now a fit junior bodybuilder. Oh, yes. Programming, however, has remained this big deal in my life. Apparently, I got some good ideas in my mind and a good eye for navigating complexity. Before I start jumping from cars and buildings, I really feel I should finish all my programming experiments, which include all kinds of interesting stuff, including the semantic web, artificial intelligence, and dealing with signals, as in JavaScript signals, and building a visual programming language, which is really cool. It's all really incredibly fascinating. I guess in that regard, I haven't really matured yet to become a serious, proper stuntman. But I did make some good progress. I highly recommend it. Now, every short story has a moral, so that even those who dozed off in the middle, and I wouldn't blame you, still have a nice and tidy takeaway. Please, don't pretend to learn to appease your teacher, because that will only make you stupid and probably dangerous too. Teachers are a big deal. You should definitely kind of hear what they have to say, but they are not big enough to interrupt your personal education, your self-education, or push you away from your pursuit of curiosities, where you are learning things that you actually care about. When school interferes with your self-education, then you have to take a step back away from school. That's right. A teacher who scares you into memorization is just a big bully and a fraud, who aims to turn you into a vegetable so they can strip mine you for easy paychecks. Anybody who scares you into doing brainless things, who interrupts your real education or frightens your joy away, or tries to force you into being other than you really are, is not a friend, not at all. Our minds, especially our creativity and imagination, are very gentle and require great care. If no one is helping you with that, then you have to stand up for yourself and just say, I will not memorize your stupid shit. I will learn something more meaningful on my own. It's important to do that because that will make all the difference in your life. If I listened to my teachers, and if I became their little sheep like every other kid in that classroom, I would have never developed a fascination for programming. Ever. I wouldn't know anything today. I wouldn't be educated for real. It would be just a body of memorized noise. Please understand that pretending to learn so that the teachers get paid for a couple of semesters will ruin your mind for life. Listen, don't take my word for it. Just spend a summer learning programming. You don't have to become a programmer. You just need an idea of what real education feels like. how incredibly empowering it is, how it reshapes your own visions of your future. When you are just memorizing in middle school or high school and look at your future, you can't see diddly. But when you start learning for real, something that you actually care about, then your future becomes as bright as day. Yeah, it may shift, but it won't shift for worse. It will only become clearer as you grow. Learn programming so that you can make wiser and more dignified decisions about your future, and not just sit there as a cog in an ineffective and rather fraudulent education system. Your duty in life is to learn to no end, to grow and grow all the way up until you become a great being